In this video, we will be looking at the first essential element of the marketing mix, the product. In today's competitive business world, knowing how to perfectly market your product is extremely important and can be the difference between survival and failure. We will consider the definition of a product, the stages it must go through to be developed, along with how it is differentiated from its competition. First of all, we need to understand what a product actually is. A product is something, physical or not, that is created through a process and that provides benefit to the consumer. A stool is a product. Google is a product. A gym membership is a product. A product can be something physical, the stool. It can be a digital product, Google, an ebook, or streaming videos. It can also be a service, like a gym or a yoga membership. A product can even just be an idea. It can be some computer code or a YouTube success secret. A product can even exist within another product. A gaming PC, for example, may have a replaceable graphics card. The PC is a product, but so are the parts within it. There are even sub-products within a stool. The company manufacturing and selling the stool may have purchased fully made legs from another business. Here, the legs of the stool would then be a product. A lumber company would also have to harvest trees to make wood, which is a product in its own right. Next, this would be passed to a carpentry business, who would use that wood to make the stool legs. So you see, a product can even exist within another product. To all the teachers out there, show all of these videos without any ads and gain access to our growing library of over 500 teaching worksheets. Why not visit BizzWizard.co.uk to find out more? So now that we have a better understanding of what a product is, let's introduce this video's main example. This is Nicholas Sinel, and he has spent the last 20 years trying to come up with that perfect product. He has tried a few inventions, things that didn't exist. His first was the buttery stick, which was basically a butter glue stick for spreading butter on your bread. As you can imagine, this did not sell very well. Nicholas has also tried to make many different innovations over the years. This is when an already existing product is adapted in an effort to improve it. Amongst many different ideas, he came up with the walk-in sleeping bag. This was a sleeping bag with leg sleeves to allow you to walk from tent to tent. Although a few hundred units did sell online, this again was not very successful. Nicholas is, however, the persistent type, and he remains as confident as ever that he will one day have the amazing idea that he has been waiting for. Let's have a closer look at the product development process he must go through every time he has one of these crazy ideas. First, Nicholas will start at the idea generation stage, where he sits for hours pondering ideas. The ideas bounce around in his head, and he hopes to come up with that one life-changing product. He writes them on post-it notes and places the good ones on his wall, before usually ripping them down and throwing them away not long after. The product development phase involves many things happening at the same time. Nicholas will usually conduct a market survey to understand the demand for the product before deciding to go ahead and develop a prototype. Nicholas will usually aim to have an innovation in his new product that he can point to as his USP. USP stands for unique selling point and means something that makes his product stand out against the competitors. A good example of a product which has been developed with a highly marketable USP would be the first bagless vacuum cleaner developed by Dyson. Bring this video and over 100 more to life with fun, interactive games, quizzes and case studies. Why not try the first 25 completely free by visiting BizzWizard.co.uk. Nicholas will then design a prototype for testing. But what is a prototype exactly? The most basic definition of a prototype is a simulation or sample version of a final product, which is used for testing prior to launch. The goal of a prototype is to test products before sinking lots of time and money into the final version. Prototyping is essential for resolving any unforeseen issues before launch, and can also reveal areas that need improvement. Once Nicholas has a final draft of his product idea in the hands of real users, he is finally able to see how they will use his product. After seeing the prototype or early version in use, alterations can be made to improve his product and make it more fit for purpose. Here, Nicholas will conduct primary research using both interviews and focus groups to develop a better understanding of how the product can be modified to increase its chance of success. In some cases, he may choose to register his product for a patent to protect the design from imitation by competitors. A patent for an invention is granted by the government to the inventor like Nicholas, giving him the right to stop others from making it, using it, or selling the invention without his permission. When a patent protection is granted, the invention becomes his property, which, like any other form of property or business asset, can be bought, sold, rented or hired. Finally, the product will leave the research and development stage of its life cycle and be launched to the market. It is put into production, and a marketing and advertising campaign is launched to introduce and sell the product to customers. Nicholas has been through this process countless times with little success, and a key area he should focus on is product differentiation, making his product stand out in the crowd. Every time he develops a product, he will likely be in competition with many other businesses and will need to compete with them for market share. Product differentiation can be used to give him a greater chance of success. So how does product differentiation work? Well, product differentiation is intended to nudge the consumer into choosing one brand over another, where there are many competitors in a crowded market. It can be used to identify the qualities that set one of Nicholas's products apart from other similar products and allow him to use these differences to drive consumers to make a purchase. Ideally, a product differentiation strategy should demonstrate that his product can do everything the competing choices can, but also has an additional benefit that no one else offers. Let's take a look at a few of the most common strategies used to differentiate a product or service. Each of the video courses over at BizzWizard.co.uk also includes an interactive business case study that applies the knowledge learnt to a real-world scenario. There are over 1,000 multiple-choice questions, each with detailed feedback, which tests students' understanding of the content. Why not visit BizzWizard.co.uk to find out more? Firstly, a distinctive design could help Nicholas differentiate his products from the competitors. A design that jumps off the shelf at consumers and is easily recognisable, like the Dyson vacuum cleaner, the iPhone, or the MacBook Pro. Successfully building a brand may also help to differentiate your product from competitors. A good example here would be Nike trainers. They have built a strong brand loyalty amongst their customers, allowing them to successfully launch new products to market. The final strategy we will consider for achieving product differentiation is performance. Some brands make sure they stand out as being the best performing product in their market. For example, when we look at the car industry, we could consider Mercedes or BMW as differentiating their product based on performance. As we have seen during the product development process, each journey to a finished product is different, and every business has its own unique set of barriers which it must overcome. Just like Nicholas, if you find yourself struggling to figure it all out, remember that every product that came before yours had to overcome some challenges. By following the steps detailed in this video as you undergo your product development process, you will be able to break down the overwhelming task of bringing a new product to the market into smaller, more manageable pieces. No matter what you're developing, by putting in all the necessary preparation, making sure you have done all your research, planning, prototyping, and costing, you can set yourself up for a successful final product which is ready for the market. This has been the BizzWizard. See you in the next video.